Welcome to McNulty's Book Corral. As I promised, today's vintage paperback pick are two by Delano Stagg, The Glory Jumpers and Bloody Beaches. These are two post-war World War II novels written under the pen name Delano Stagg by Mel R. Saber and Paul Eden, or Eden, E-I-D-E-N, I believe, is the... E-I-D-E-N, were two soldiers from World War II who wrote under the pen name Delano Stagg, and these were published by Monarch in the late 50s and early 60s. Most vintage paperback collectors are familiar with these two books. They're very, very well written. I don't know anything about the authors, the two authors who wrote under this pen name, other than what I've told you. There's very little other bibliographic reference to them on the internet currently. I don't know what happened to them or any of that material, so perhaps somebody knows and you could enlighten me in the comments section down below. So these are two really fun vintage World War II post-war paperbacks. I do like to clarify when I'm talking about post-war literature that I'm talking about fiction that was published just after the end of World War II and through the mid-1950s that had a direct reference to the war itself or to the effect the war had on society. Post-war fiction, as I've mentioned in multiple episodes previously, is fascinating to study. I have more coming, other books and so forth that we'll talk about in the future. But these two are of particular interest because of the quality of the writing. Again, they're very well known by vintage paperback collectors. This book has pretty much a traditional cover. I think Robert Stanley is the name of the artist who did this. This one has more of a seductive type cover, which is a little misleading because it doesn't really have a lot of that going on in it. There is a scene in it with a young lady, but basically this is a combat novel. Both of these are novels about men in combat. And again, the writing distinguishes these from others from the same era. This type of paperback was quite popular after World War II, especially in the early 1950s, and so forth and so on. These came out in the late 50s and early 60s. So today's vintage paperback picks, two great ones by Delano Stagg, published by Monarch Books, Bloody Beaches and The Glory Jumpers. Stay well, stay happy, feed your brain, read a book.